Hi, Facebook world.
Hi, Facebook. We're normal looking today.
Happy Friday.
No Halloween episodes this week.
We're both revived. Neither of us is dead anymore.
Yes.
Yay.
It's amazing what CPR can do.
You may want to kill me after today's live.
Yeah, we have some big news, some major changes that take effect immediately.
Yeah, like backdated, actually.
Yeah,
it's pretty shitty.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
Oh, I did it again.
That's all right.
Okay.
This is not... Nobody under the age of 14, is it? Or 12 is supposed to have Facebook anyway?
Yeah, but when you go live, it has a question that says, are you family friendly?
No, we are not family friendly.
I have been checking the family friendly box, but I probably shouldn't, because we're not really family friendly.
Families say worse things in their houses.
It's probably true. We do in ours. I'm sorry. Anyways, I'm always apologizing for cursing, and I apologize now because I'm probably going to do it again.
We're real people.
Yes,
and this is true. Not scripted. This is live, and what we say is what we say.
When we first started doing the live thing, I was rather nervous about and now you know why.
Yes, it's all right. Anyway.
So today...
major changes.
Today we're going to talk about this thing right here. My notes that I made myself and kept because I'm starting to get organized. Tracy is doing this to me. Your principal residence. So.
Do you have to explain what a principal residence is?
Yes. So here's the deal. Up until December 31st, 2015, yes, 2015, the one that's way behind us, okay? Up until December 31st, 2015, you were allowed to buy and sell a home and live in it, and it was your principal residence, okay? You could buy and sell it. Taxman didn't have any business involved. He had nothing to do with it. You didn't have to tell him you were buying and selling it. It was all your own business. Yeah, shut up, leave me out of it, right?
Buy and sell 5 times in the year, and you didn't have to...
100 times.
Yeah.
Didn't matter.
Didn't have to do anything about it. But now, because...
the rules have changed.
Our Minister of Finance has ruled starting, what was it, January of
January
this year?
1st, 2016.
So all the way back till January.
Yep.
If you sell your house, you have to report it on your income tax.
Take a deep breath.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to say this again. Effective January 1st, 2016. So 11 months ago.
Yes.
If at any point from January 1st, 2016 to the end of the year, and this is going to carry on into future years, trust me, now that they got it, they're not letting it go. If you sell a home, you have to report it on your taxes, regardless of whether it's the home you live in or not. Okay? So even if it's your principal residence, even if it's the home that you live in every day and have for 20 years, 50 years. Doesn't matter if it was your mom's house and they willed it to you and now you're selling it. You must report the sale on your income taxes. Okay? So it's going to be a new question we're going to ask you this year. Did you sell a house? Doesn't matter if the house was sold for profit. Doesn't matter if you sold the house to your sister. Doesn't matter if you sold the house and bought another house that you lived in and you'd lived in that house for 100 years. It makes no difference why you sell the house. You have to report the sale.
Yes.
Okay?
And if you fail to report it, there is major fines.
Just report it.
Yeah, major
They're going to fine you $100 for every month that you don't report it since you should have. Now, let me qualify that, okay? You have to report it on your income taxes. So if you have to file your income taxes by the end of April and you don't report the sale of your home, beginning May 1st, you're going to be fined $100 a month. Okay, so not the May that went by. Okay, your tax year ends December 31st of this year, right?
So there's no fines for anybody as of yet.
Right. So nobody's going to incur fines because you didn't call the Revenue Canada people and say, hey, oh my God, I sold my house in January. But when you're due to file your taxes April 30th, or whatever date they come up with this year, because they change it constantly.
Every month after that.
Every month after that, it's a $100 fine. So if you're late filing your taxes, here's the scenario, okay? I sold my house back in March, okay? I filed my taxes at the end of this year. I don't get around to it until June. Now I'm going to pay a late filing penalty of $100 for May and June. So now I'm paying an extra $200 on my taxes because I filed them late.
And that doesn't matter if the government owes you money.
Doesn't.
A lot of people are like, you know what, the government owes me money, so I'm not in a big rush to do my return because I'm not going to get any fines and penalties. Well, guess what? If you did sell your house,
you have to file on time.
You have to file on time because if not, you're going to get penalties.
Yeah. Big thing to be aware of, okay? So big thing to be aware of. If you sold your house, and I'm going to contact some real estate agents and make sure that they're aware and get you guys some information, but if you sold your house in this year, in this calendar year, you must file your taxes.
When we are doing your taxes.
File your taxes on time or you're going to get a penalty and it's going to suck. $100 a month sucks.
And they'll penalize you up to $8,000.
$8,000! $8,000, people. Seriously. Don't do it.
It'll add up quick.
Now, some scenarios that you need to think about. First of all, your next question, I'm hoping, if your tax brain is on, I'm hoping your next question is, oh my God, why do I have to file it on my taxes? Well, here's the reality. The government thinks there's a lot of people flipping homes. And the market in Cape Breton isn't such that we're out there flipping homes all the time. But in places like Toronto and places like Vancouver and Winnipeg, where there's large, Calgary, where there's a potential to buy a piece of garbage, refix it, and sell it, people are using the principal residence rule to get around it. They're buying a house, they're saying they live in it, they're renovating it, fixing it up, and selling it for a substantial profit, and then they're moving on to their next principal residence. Well, now you're not going to be able to do that. They're going to catch you. Because if you do it too many times in a year, they're going to go, what's going on?
It's because, if you're doing stuff like that, you're considered yourself a small business.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to be filing your GST. And if you're doing that and you're not filing GST, well, the government's losing out on their share.
Yes.
So this is their way of catching people that are doing it.
It is. It's exactly their way of saying, hey, you're making a profit on all these home sales. They're obviously not your principal residence by the true meaning of the definition.
They just want their cut.
They want their money. Yeah, it's a sin. But they do.
But, yes, so because of places like Toronto and Vancouver and so on, we have to do it too. It's a Canada-wide thing now.
Yep.
So it's not just Nova Scotia, it's Canada-wide. Yep. Everybody, when they file their taxes, you gotta let us know if you have sold your house.
So this applies to every province and territory in the Canadian country.
Yes.
This applies to...
We do taxes across Canada.
Yeah, we do.
So everybody across Canada has to be aware of this. Because if you live in Alberta and you contact to do your taxes, this applies to you as well.
Yep, everywhere. It also applies to every single Canadian that owns a home. So it does not matter how that home came into your possession. If it is your home and you are selling it, it applies to you. You must report it. Now, here's the thing. If you're just an average, you're a person like me and you own a home and you sell it, it's not gonna change your tax calculations. It's not actually going to affect you. It's a reporting. All it is a reporting. It's not going to put you in a different tax bracket. It's not going to give you any kind of a credit. It's not going to the government's not going to automatically assume that you're in business to buy and sell houses. It's a reporting feature that they're going to use to in turn catch people that are flipping. Basically, that's what it comes down to.
Another thing that everybody should be aware of as well, if you don't file it, they can come back anytime and review it.
Good one. Yes. I forgot about that one.
Anytime. So 2 years down the road, 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road, they can even come back and look at somebody's estate after they've passed.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at your parents' estate or something and, they passed on, well, you sold the house, yada, 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 they can come back and look at that. And if you didn't, up to $8,000 is what you're going to have to pay. So
here's the scenario that brings up. If someone in your family has passed this year and you're in charge of their tax filing, you need to make sure that if that home was given away or sold to someone, the estate, now the person that has passed, I'm sorry they passed, but, to speak about it, we're going to call it the estate. So the estate owns the home. And now the estate has given away or sold the home to someone, you have to report that on that deceased person's taxes. Mm-hmm. Has to be reported. Has to be. The government, like Tracy says, if the government discovers that you bought that you sold a principal residence 200 years from now, they can come back and change it.
There's no deadline on when
no
they
statute
can
of
come
limitations
back.
at all on this clause, okay? None. Most things have a 2, a 3, a 5, or a 10-year statute. This is unlimited.
Yeah.
Don't ask me what they were drinking when they got this passed, but it's passed. So we're living with it now.
Yeah, because considering
I'm
it was
amazed.
just passed last month. It was just passed in October.
Yeah.
We just learned about it the beginning of the week.
Yeah.
So that's why we decided that this is what our live would be about. So they passed this in October and are extending it all the way back 10 months from now.
Yeah.
So I don't know how, with 2 months left of the year, how they can pass something.
I know. It's crazy.
And it just, there's...
I guess it's one of those things where they assume that you're going to have some record of the home sale, so it should be easy to prove. And lawyers keep all the records and stuff. So, I mean, if you sold your home in January and you lost your paperwork, I'm sure if you contact your lawyer, they can get you a copy of it. But you are going to be required to bring some sort of proof of the sale of the house when you get your taxes done. So, what it's going to come down to is everybody that gets their taxes done this year, I'm going to have to ask them if they bought or sold a home. Or not bought, sorry. That's a habit. Sold a home.
There is something for if you buy a home. If you're a first-time home buyers, then that is something we need to know as well.
Yes.
Because then you can get a credit for your taxes.
$5,000. You don't get $5,000. No, don't get excited.
But it's a $5,000 tax credit towards your taxes.
It is. It's a non-refundable credit that means that potentially you made $5,000 less in the year because you spent it on your house. So it's a good thing. Yeah.
So
take advantage.
If you do sell a house, let us know. If you bought a house and it was your first time buying a house, let us know. Even
if it's not your first time, when you come to get your taxes done, I'm going to ask you if you bought or sold a home in 2015. And the logic behind that is 2016. I'm going to be in the right year by the time we get there. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm going to ask if you bought or sold a home in 2016. And the reason for that is if you bought a home, I want you to be the responsible person and contact the seller and let them know about this tax credit.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, not the tax credit, the tax regulation. Because, let's face it, the CRA doesn't necessarily let the general public know about everything, and maybe the real estate agent and the lawyer weren't aware of the tax change. Obviously, because it's backdated, they might not be made aware of it, so there's a distinct possibility that somebody's going to get nailed here, and I really would love it if we would all put on our feed it forward, whatever that, pay it forward hats. If you bought a house in 2016, call your seller and say, do you know you have to report this?
Yeah.
Just be nice. Give everybody a heads up so that everybody knows. Share this video!
Yeah,
share the video.
Share the video.
Share the video, share the video, share the video.
Out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're here trying to, educate you guys. We're trying to educate ourselves. We're just learning about this as well.
Yep.
So, everybody might have some questions about it. No, it's not going to be linked into, how much money you made that year. I know I was mentioning to a couple people, and they're like, well, is that going to make it look like I made $200,000? No.
Yeah.
It doesn't go towards your income. It's just something for the government to, keep track of what's going on, basically.
It's a reporting feature only. It's exactly like if you had WCB, right? If you had WCB, you got to report it, but it's not going to affect your taxes. So this is similar. You have to report it. And we'll fill in the schedule and we'll do all the work, You just need to bring us the details.
Tell us and bring us something that proves that you sold your house.
Yeah, and the details that we're going to need, just in case you want to get ahead of the game, we're going to have to know the property. We're going to have to know the seller's name is obviously going to be you, and or the deceased person who you're filing taxes for. And we're going to have to know the sale price. So that's what we're going to need to know.
So just remember, this starts this year and every year forward until they tell us otherwise.
Yeah. CRA went backwards in time because they have that little machine. They're allowed to do that. They went back to January 1st and said, we're going to make a rule.
Yeah.
We just didn't know about it until now. I mean, there was grumblings, but I mean, you never know about anything until it's official, right? And I'm not going to tell you guys to go get prepared for some tax rule that may or may not happen. When it's law, we'll let you know.
And I know some people might be watching and be like, oh, well, I didn't sell my house this year. I'm selling it next year. It applies to you too. So next year when you're
moving forward,
next year you gotta let us know.
We will always have to report the sale of any house that we own, regardless of the reasoning now.
Yes.
Principal residence, the definition still exists, and you don't have to pay tax on the principal residence sale, but you still have to report it. Just to recap that.
Yep.
Now, For those of you who may be, I know there's one of you that I know well, that may be using the principal residence deduction, or sorry, the principal residence exemption, to get away with buying and selling houses now and then. You're caught. You're gonna get caught. You're gonna get caught.
If you're selling a house every year, they're gonna catch on.
Yeah. And, I know somebody who's sold 3 this year. So, if you're buying a house, fixing it up, selling the house, buying a house, fixing it up, selling the house, I'm not going to tell you what I think you're going to get away with. You may, hypothetically, you could do 2 a year. You could do 2 a year and never get caught. But I'm going to tell you right now that if you are buying or selling a home for profit and it's not your intended, in your heart and mind, principal residence, start a business up, small business, get her legit now. Because if you get caught after the fact, it's going to sting so hard you won't be buying and selling houses anymore, trust me. Okay? So if this is what you're doing it for, just come above board now. You might as well, because they're going to catch you. The whole reason they're doing this is because they know there's a market going on out there, right? They know that
they're missing out on money.
They do. They're missing a huge tax benefit.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it truly is.
They're missing out on that GST and HST, and they want their cut. So this is their way of catching.
Yeah. So you're caught.
Yeah.
So if you have a question about whether this new principal residence exemption reporting rule applies to you, it does. Ask us.
If you own a house, it applies to you.
Yeah, ask us, but it does. Trust me, it applies to you. If you're going to sell a house in this calendar year, you need to report it in this calendar year's taxes.
If you're going to sell a house anytime in the future, let us know when you're filing your taxes for that year.
Yep.
So
you're going to hear me ask you.
Unless they decide to do something else, that's the new rule.
Yep, new rule. Bought or sold a house this year? Bought or sold a house this year? Get used to me saying, did you buy or sell a house this year? Even the one you live in. Even the one you live in counts now.
And remember, if you buy a house and it's first time, there's a credit. So
yes,
$5,000 tax credit.
Yep. Did you buy or sell a house this year?
Did you buy or sell a house this year?
You're gonna get tired of us
when
asking.
I'm filling out your forms when you're coming to see us, I will be asking, email address, blah 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 blah. Did you buy or sell a house? And you're gonna say yes.
And something else. I had a dry lip issue going on. Something else we're going to ask you. We always ask it for our files in case we need to reach you, your telephone number. But now we have to report your telephone number.
Really?
Yeah, we've got to report your telephone number now. Yep. You know what happens if I don't report your telephone number? They call me looking for you.
Oh, that's happened. That's happened a few times.
To be honest with you, the rule should have been put in place last year, but
we've had a few phone calls looking for tax clients. Actually.
For a number of reasons, I didn't bother you guys about your phone numbers if I thought I already had them or whatever. But now we
need a number.
Yeah, my phone's ringing, and people are looking for you guys. So I have to collect your phone number. I'm sorry, we have to. Also, we have the option of collecting your email address and providing it to the CRA. You have to authorize that. It's not mandatory. There's actually a little box we have to check, and you have to sign a whole separate line when we file your taxes to say that you want to participate in the email program. Now, here's the thing. I've always told you the CRA will never email you and tell you about your refund. That still stands. What they will do is they will use your email address to email you and say, hey, Tracy, you have email in your CRA online. So you have to log into your CRA online and read the email there. It won't come to your Gmail. No. All you'll get is a little email that says you have a message.
There still has to be a security feature in place.
Yeah.
So they'll just let you know in your email to go check your online account or...
Now, it's super cool. I'm saying, I think it's super cool. Last year I was skeptical, but this year I've tried it myself, and I think it's cool because when your notice of assessment is done, they email you and say, hey, your notice of assessment's in there, go read it. And you can go get it instantly. When your GST thing is, if you get GST, your GST statement is ready, they'll email you and say, hey, your GST statement's ready. Go in and get it. Child tax,
but
when they've calculated it.
It's completely optional.
Yeah, it's totally optional.
You don't have to do it. It's completely optional.
I did it this year.
Option.
It's kind of cool. When you know that the CRA is trying to reach you, they email you and you go in and read it and you're good to go. The My Account Online thing is super, super awesome. You can go in and see the status of anything going on in your Canada Revenue account. So if you haven't already got that hooked up, it's a cool thing to do. You should totally think about it. All right, next up was
EI.
Do you guys know about...
Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. Yes, EI. Pogey. Cape Breton Gold.
I was about to say it and then I was like, I don't know. Okay, so here's the deal with EI. I don't know if you already know this, but I know somebody who was negatively affected by it tremendously today.
Pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
So here's the deal. If you collect EI and you make too much money working the rest of the year, they're going to call you back. So when you get that EI slip at the end of the year and it says what percentage of repayment, pay attention to that because it's usually 30 in this 30%. Region. You know, some areas it's 15. Lots of people get 0. Here's what I'll tell you. If your EI repayment is 0, one of two things likely occurred. You're a long-term tenure employee. You rarely ever collect EI. So they're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. No matter how much money you made last year, you're still going to get to keep all of the EI. You're not going to get clawed back. So you're good. Some people get 15. There's other numbers too, but I mean, those are the biggies, 0, 15, and 30. So some people get 15, and what that means is you're in a region where people don't collect EI very often, and you're probably a low risk of going over the amount, so they're going to only claw back 15 if you do go over the amount. Then there's those of us in Cape Breton, who we're a high, we're a high EI province. We are. So we have 30% generally if you've collected EI in the past. Now, basically what that means is when you file your taxes, if you go over whatever magic number they've determined is this year's magic number, if you go over, you're going to get clawed back 30% of your EI.
So this person in particular made way too much money.
Yep.
So now they're in the negative with CRA because they owe a bunch of EI back.
Dude went out to Alberta, worked his arse off, made 60 grand.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yay for him. 60 grand. He was all excited.
Now owe $16,000 to the government.
Yeah. Came home. Well, that was multiple years. But yeah, he came home, collected EI, made another 20-something grand on EI. And by the end of the year, now Canada Revenue's going, wait a minute, buddy. We paid you EI, yet you made this much money. We're taking 30% back. So, you know,
it happens.
6 grand one year and 70-something hundred the next year. So, yeah, really, really, really ugly. So if you don't know about EI clawback and you're ever claiming EI, pay attention. That repay rate is crucial. Sometimes it's really not better to be on EI. If you're going out west and you're going to make a stink load of money, save some.
Yeah, and the worst thing is, too, what's this? Unfortunately, Paige's manager has stopped. Okay.
I don't know what that means. I hope we're still live.
I hope we're still live. I think we are. We have a viewer.
Yeah, it looks like.
But yeah, anyway, a lot of
I'll check while you talk.
When you are on EI, they don't take enough tax off you, too.
Yes.
So that kind of affects you comes tax time, too, because you can't get back what you did not pay in, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're on income tax, or not income tax, sorry. If you're on EI, unemployment insurance, if you're on that for the whole year, they don't take as much off as you would if you were working, so chances are you might have to pay in at the end of the year.
Exactly. I keep getting this Pages Manager has stopped thing.
Manager thing is.
I hope we're working, guys, but
it's very important what you're saying.
Yeah, we keep getting it. We're gonna cry. We keep getting a stupid message. Anyways, so yeah, those are our tips for today. Principal residence deduction principal residence exemption, I cannot speak,
has begun.
It no longer, well, it still exists.
It still exists.
You just have to report everything now.
You have to report it because they're trying to catch people that are not paying them monies.
Yeah. And EI, if you go on EI, pay attention to your clawback and don't make too much money or you're going to have to pay it all back again. And it's worse, like Tracy says, because they don't take enough off of you to begin with.
Yeah.
If you're going to collect EI, I know this sounds crazy because if you're on EI, you lost your job or you whatever, and things are tough, times are tough, change your standard of living and save some money. Yeah. I know it sounds stupid. I know it does. When you're on EI, you just took a big hit, you're making less money. Dude, make some changes because come tax time, you're going to have this massive debt. And I know it's easy to pretend that you can ignore the government and pay them back whenever out of your GST for the next 500 years, but they'll only wait so long.
Yeah,
and if you don't cooperate, they'll come looking.
They'll come looking. And a lot of times,
they'll take it from
too,
your pay.
you know, people,
if you ignore them, they'll seize your bank account. Don't ignore them.
Yeah, we've already had an experience with that with somebody. Their bank accounts, their assets are frozen. They're going to lose their house. Like it's
horrible.
It's crappy.
It's horrible.
Really not.
Never
good.
ignore the Canada Revenue Agency.
Don't. So, yeah, if you don't like brown envelopes, bring them to us. We will open them for you.
Yeah,
you can be here.
We'll open the bad news.
We'll read it to you if you want.
It. We'll pad it as bad as we can.
But yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to wrap things up with a reminder. $35 personal income taxes. Share this video. Let the world know about this change if they don't already know. And let them know that they can come to CH Accounting and Tax. Visit us at northsidetax.com and we will do your taxes for $35.
Canada-wide, people.
Canada-wide. Okay? Peace.
Deuces.
And wait, I'm going to sign off by saying...
Keep your stick on the ice.
I was going to say next time we see you, there will be an American president chosen.
Oh, shoot.
So...
Oh, snap.
My heart's on the wrong side. My heart is with those of you who are south of the border. Please stay safe. No matter what happens, know that we're with you. We're rooting for you. And
no civil war, please.
Please, everybody, remember on November 11th to remember. Please. All right.
Yes.
Now we're peace outing.
All right.